Hello exiles, and I continue my journey. I've been farming random tier 16 maps, and so far, it's been pretty good. I have got a lot of Kirak missions, random idols, boss invitations, and even a few lucky drops. These drops are nice, but they're not enough to afford big upgrades. So, I'll sell everything and switch to a more profitable farming strategy. This amount of currency should be enough. The strategy I decided to farm is Delirium. Delirium is really strong right now, as the new idols can be stacked for increased reward progress and more Delirium orb chance. Also, this build is great for clear speed and goes really fast, which makes this farming method even more efficient. With how quickly I can clear maps, I'll be able to stack up rewards and earn more currency compared to my previous strategy. I will use 5 of these scarabs for each map. I don't have the last map slot, so let's get that too. Good. Now, I'll use the remaining currency to upgrade the character. Pure Talent Jewel. Corrupted Weapon. The Fortify implicit is important since it lets me save some passive points on the tree. Boots with movement speed, life and resistances. Catalyst for the belt. New ring. New shield with high block chance, life, and resistances. This one doesn't have high block chance, but it has an empty prefix, so I'll craft it. New flask. And lastly, new anoint. The build is ready. Now, it's time to run some Delirium maps. Well, this strategy is really strong. I'm making a lot of currency, but most of the value comes from Delirium orbs. Here's my Delirium tab right now. Since these orbs make up nearly all the profit from this strategy, it's important to roll them on the harvest bench for the currency version to get the most value. I'll buy this flask so I won't have to manually apply curses while mapping. This strategy has been a lot of fun, so I'm going to run a few more maps. I also want to mention that I adjusted the idols a bit, and here's how it looks now. After those maps, my chance of getting Delirium orbs has more than doubled, which should result in a lot more currency. That was a good run. Here's how many Delirium orbs I got, and of course, I'll roll them again for better value. Around 900 orbs in total. Each map took me about 2 to 3 minutes, so this was a 4-hour run for this amount. Not bad. Let's sell them. Here's a nice idol I sold for 4 divines. The currency tab looks solid now. I guess it is time to get some good upgrades. Svalin. Best in slot shield in the game. High quality body armor like this one. I will craft it with dense fossils. It's always better to craft this item since the ones on the market are far more expensive than the crafting cost. Well, that was fast. Around 50 fossils in, and I hit double T1. Triple T1 takes an average of 600 fossils, so this is pretty much the best outcome I could hope for. Here are the implicits. Good. Now, I want to try crafting double elevated boots with cooldown reduction. I'm not sure about the best method, but here's what I did. I got a shaper base boots using the harvest bench and then used alterations to get double shaper modifiers. This is how it should look. Now, I'll use an orb of dominance to elevate the cooldown recovery modifier. Unlucky. Let's go again. Good. Now, I'll craft another pair of boots with elevated onslaught. Now, here is the reason I made the first boots with alterations. It took a lot of tries, but this way, I can use Hinakora lock with beasts for really cheap and go for a good third suffix without bricking the item. I also grabbed some imprint beasts just in case I messed up, but of course, I totally forgot to use them. Wait, why didn't the lock work? Well, I guess those 2 hours of alteration spam were for nothing. Anyway, the item's not completely ruined, so at least I can still try getting the prefixes done. Good. Now, time for the Veiled Orb. Unlucky. Let's go again. Empty prefix again. Well, I don't want to spend more currency on this, so I'll just craft the movement speed and use it as is. Also, this item isn't mandatory for the build. You can easily use Ralakesh boots as another solid option. Now, I want to get stun immunity, and here's how I'm doing it. Jewel with 40% avoidance. Tatoos for 30%. And this mastery for another 30%. Most people who play this build use Unwavering Stance, which removes your evasion and requires a lot more passive points. I have one upgrade left, but it's really expensive, over 20 divines, which I don't have at the moment. So here's the plan, if you can't buy it, you farm it. Simple, right? Honestly, it's easy to farm this jewel for under 2 divines, so I'm not sure why it's so expensive. I know some of you might not enjoy farming Sanctum, but I'm not going to spend 25 divines on something I can farm in under 2 hours with little investment. I also got some divine orbs, which is nice. Let's see if I got it. Nice. It took around 2 hours, which means I earned about 10 divines per hour just farming the jewel. Looks like Sanctum runners always win. I'll also change the ascendancy since I forgot to do it earlier. The build doesn't even die, and I just hit level 97 without even using a dedicated leveling setup. Well, it probably dies on big hits from uber bosses, but mapping is really smooth, and it's performing great overall. Speaking of uber bosses, let's go ahead and try to take some down. I died a couple of times, but the damage is definitely enough to take them down. Overall, this build is a lot of fun and very strong. Here's how the POB looks. The effective hit pool has almost tripled, and the damage is around 15 million. I didn't even get any cluster jewels, because the build was already solid without them. So yeah, this will be the last part of this journey for now, as I have some other build ideas I want to try before the event ends. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll catch you in the next one.